Michael Strachan of University of Charleston. Mike, how you feeling, brother? And thanks for joining us today.
Feel great. Everything is going well, and I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. So I want to start with your childhood and where you grew up. You have a very unique story and one that our fans would for sure love to hear about and get to know more about. You grew up and you were born and raised in the Bahamas. Can you just tell us what that was like and what football is like over there? Because for a lot of fans, I'm sure they're thinking like there's football in the Bahamas. They're playing football over there. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I was born and raised in the Bahamas. It's quite a bit of a different life. People normally would come over there for vacation, but it was, it was an everyday life for me. Football was a bit different. We didn't really have it like we did over here, with me playing over there, we had a bit organized football when I was younger. So I was able to play. Ever since I left, it stopped, and that's one of my goals is to get it back someday in the near future. But it was quite different. I had to come over here in order for me to get a scholarship, finish my football career because not much people come to the Bahamas for recruiting. So my route had to be different. My path had to be different for me to be in this position that I am today.
What was your training process like over there when you were a youngster? And what would you do to work on your game? Because like you said, the resources over there aren't the same as they are over here.
Well, my dad, he was also my coach, because he also played. So we would go to any of the local fields and we would, I would work on my game. I would stay sharp. I would, still keep up to date with all of these different drills or whatever the case may be. So I was still able to get my work in through my dad because he was also my coach growing up.
Was he the one that introduced football to you? And how young did you start playing?
I started playing since I was introduced to football since I was about 5 years old. Since I was young because, he introduced me to it. He also played at Bethune-Cookman. So, it was easy from there, and the love for the game come natural for me.
When you moved to the States, what made you move to West Virginia? And can you tell us a story about, your first football experience over here?
Well, when I first came, it was my 10th grade year. I finished high school in Lynchburg, Virginia. I played at Liberty Christian Academy, and it was a bit different. It was cold. I was not used to the weather. Being in such great heat of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Coming over to the snow was different for me. So I was kind of shocked. My body was shocked. I was used to football, so the football side of it didn't change. All of it didn't change for me. I already knew what was up and what to expect. So that didn't change. But from there, I was able to get my scholarship to play in West Virginia, in Charleston. So that's how it all started for me.
And I remember you telling me about a camp you attended in Texas. Can you just take us through the story?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I went to Jay Novacek camp. He had a camp in Dallas, Texas. I went there, and it was great. We came there for, it was like a weekend type of thing. We would do different drills. We would split up into teams and play games. We would meet some of the different stars that Jay Novacek played with. And after the camp, I won best wide receiver out of all of the guys there in Texas. So that was quite of a bit. That was a great accomplishment for me. Coming from a small town called the Bahamas. It was just a great accomplishment, and it was something that I was excited about.
And when you walked into this camp, you were ultra confident that you were going to be able to put on a show for the people?
Yes, definitely. I had no doubt in my mind. I was just, from back then, I had the same confidence, and I have the same confidence now.
So now I want to take it to your career at Charleston. You start out your freshman season. You don't get the playing time maybe, you're used to having. You redshirt your freshman year, but then year in and year out, as you continue to play in your career over there, you just improved every single season. You broke record after record. In your sophomore year, you broke the receiving yards record. And then in your junior year, you shattered the TD record. So what was it like to just see that transformation? What do you attribute that to?
Well, everybody has their time, and my time didn't come yet. So the biggest thing for me was patience. Everybody, you have to be patient in order for you to get to where you want to get to. For me, being a redshirt, fresh, redshirt freshman, and then not starting the next year after that, I stayed patient. I stayed patient. I kept with it. I kept working. I kept being coachable. And, it came my time where I was able to start, and I took advantage of it, and I didn't squander that opportunity. So I was just, I was excited about it. I came in, I did my part. I played my role. I made plays for my team, and, I helped put the team on the map. And that was something that I was really excited about. And one thing I learned through that process was being patient.
For you, I mean, I could only imagine just the emotional roller coaster that could have been, you know what I mean? But
right.
How do you stay mentally tough and confident throughout this whole process? Because you've had such a tough journey. I mean, like you start in the Bahamas and then you go to a D2 school, but just you're always able to keep that mental focus. How'd you do that?
The love for the game kept me, focused. I love the game so much. I know that I'm doing it for a reason, and that's to, first of all, glorify God, because He's the reason why I'm here. And second of all, to, use this platform to put myself and my family in the best position possible to be successful. So with all those things running behind my mind is what always keeps me motivated.
And how are you able to stay confident in those times? Like, were there times where your confidence wavered because of the lack of playing time and because of your journey, or were you just laser focused?
Confidence is more natural. It's not something that you force on yourself. It's just natural. That's something that you have to have within you. And I've had that at a young age. So that don't ever leave me nor change.
Right. And now you're getting ready for your pro day, you're getting ready for the draft. What have you been doing to get ready? Can you just take us into, your workout regimen, a little bit behind the scenes?
Yep. So I was training at Boomeritos in Davie, Florida. I did all of my training down there for a few months. So, getting ready for combines and pro days, we mostly work on the things that we would have to do for those particular days, So, the speed training, the agility, the position specifics, whatever the case may be, that's what we worked on during that time. And, the training was great. It was amazing. I love it. I feel pretty good. So I'm ready, to attack it Thursday coming.
Right. And what's the grind like? What time do you wake up? When do you finish?
Every morning, 6:30, we at the facility, and we don't finish until around early evening time.
What time?
3, 4, 5, whatever the case may be.
And
around
you've been working all that time.
Yeah, the whole day.
Wow.
Facility, and you're getting better.
Yeah. I mean, because like people don't really see the hard work that goes into the process of becoming great, becoming an NFL player, and you're putting in that work. Is it 7 days a week, every single day?
6 days a week. We get, one day off on Sunday, but every day you come in, you wake up early every morning for months strong. No excuses. You come in, you work every day. Yeah. And that's the only way you get better. You just have to accept it. Yeah.
And what are you specifically looking to get better at as we move into the draft?
Most being receiver, there's always room for improvements. So I'm always willing to improve in every aspect of the game. I'm always willing to learn more. So there's always room for improvements in all aspects of the game. So, I've been working on everything that a receiver has to offer. For the most part, just being able to comprehend and being able to, put yourself out there and, make different big time decisions in your life. Because, as you start the next chapter, so you going into another chapter and, the level of expectation raised. So just preparing yourself for all of that.
You were invited to the combine. Unfortunately, there will be none.
Right.
How disappointing was that for you? Because you're a guy that really wanted to showcase your skills.
It was so disappointing for me, because that was one opportunity that would have raised my name so high, in exposure. And, a lot more people would have known who I was, because this would have been on a national level, and I knew that I could have compete with everybody in that combine. So it was a sad time for me, but, there's other opportunities and I'm ready for it.
Right. And you mentioned how tough the journey has been for you. You could argue that you've had, the toughest journey.
100.
Yeah. So could you tell us, just why you think that you've had such a tough journey?
Because it's hard enough getting from the Bahamas over here in general. No other prospect has had to go through that. If you want to do it the right way, the legal way, I had to go through the whole process. And that didn't just come overnight. That took a lot of sacrifice. My parents, we couldn't move into our new house because of it. That had to been sacrificed. So we always living in a 2-bedroom duplex, all 7 of us. And, we had to send me over. I had to go through the whole process. That's a different story right there. I had to finish high school in Virginia. Nobody knew who I was at all. So nobody really wanted to take a shot at me. Everybody thinks me coming from the Bahamas, I can't play no sports, basically. So it was just rough in general. Also, and then I went to a smaller school. So that's hard as it is, coming from a smaller school, trying to get this opportunity. So you just have to do, absolutely phenomenal to try to get that shot.
Yeah.
You got to stand out.
And could you tell us what your family means to you?
They mean so much to me. Just they always been there for me. They are like my rock. They are who I go to when I need, any type of advice, any guidance. So they mean the world to me, and I'm proud of them being my parents.
You talk about the exposure part of things. How grateful are you that you are a receiver in 2021, though? Because 20, 30 years ago, it may have been impossible for you to even get any sort of recognition. But the fact that there is some sort of media, you may not be able to get the same exposure, but at the same time, you're able to get exposure because there is, the media era, like me and you are talking right now, because of the fact that there is media out there. So how grateful are you to be able to play in this era?
I'm thankful for that, because, any route, any path, any different path that I can use to get my name out there, I'm going to take it. Like, for example, right now, so, and like I said, I appreciate you having me here. It means a lot. And it's also another source for me getting my name out there and, helping out with that along that line. But, I'm just thankful for me being in this era and time today.
Yeah. And I know that you met with some teams over virtual meetings. That must be really tough. Can you just take the fans what that looks like and what that process is? Because people don't get to see the behind the scenes so much, and it's great to hear it from a guy like you firsthand.
Right. Well, they would hit you up, and we would schedule, different FaceTimes or Zoom calls, whatever the case may be, and you have to set your agenda up day by day, for each team, because each person has a different time you're going to call. So a typical day for me would be waking up, doing the Zoom call in the morning with the team, doing one in the afternoon, and then doing one in the night. So it's just setting up your day in a way that you're able to remember those different calls that you have each day and be on time and be ready to go.
And what kind of things are they asking you in those interviews? Like, what are teams really looking for out of you that you've seen that they want to see most?
Overall, they just want to see how you will be able to come in and contribute to the team right away. That's overall what it is. How can you come in and add value? How can you come in and be a factor to the team?
Yeah,
that's what they want to know. Your background information, how you grew up, whatever the case may be. They want to know what type of person you are.
And is it tough, like not having that in contact, in-person meeting and being able to see
It's
people?
really tough. It's really tough, especially from the position that that I'm coming from. It's hard, because I want to be able to talk face to face and really build a connection with these different scouts and different teams, because nothing is better than having face to face contact.
Yeah,
So that's one thing that's really challenging, is just having to do all of these Zooms, because you can't really build a tighter connection as you would in person.
right. And have you been doing anything, I guess, like original to stand out to these guys on these Zoom meetings? Is there anything you could do to, you know, portray?
The best advice I would give is to be yourself. I've just been being myself, and it's been working, and that's the consistency you're gonna get from now till the end of my career, years down the road. So, I'm just being myself.
Yeah. So now you're projected to get drafted. What is an NFL team getting when Big Mike Strachan walks into the door at wide receiver?
Well, like I always say, I'm going to come in and add value. I'm going to be a big contributor right away. Whatever the team needs, I'm willing to give, and I don't ask no questions. Whatever we need, I'm willing to help, whether it be me being the big time player, because I can play that role. I've been playing that role straight from part one and straight up to college. So pressure is something that I embrace, and I'm ready to compete. I don't care who's at the top, I'm willing to compete for a spot. And, I love competition. I'm really wanting to come in and help the team win the Super Bowl, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter. I've always been a winner at every level that I've been on, and that I don't plan for that to change now. So I'm going to come in and contribute to the team right away.
What does Mike Strachan look like pregame?
Pregame, I'm just zoned out. I'm focused on me. I'm strategizing. I'm imagining myself and visualizing myself seeing, being successful. So I'm kind of off away from everybody. I'm getting in my zone. I'm listening to my music. I'm saying my prayers. I'm going through my pregame rituals. So, I'm not the real big talker before all of the games, but the more quiet I am, that means the better I'm going to play. Because I like to stay away from people and get in my own zone.
Who do you like to listen to before a game?
Before a game, it depends. It depends. I like different music. I like rap. Just something to get me in that zone, because this is not the time to be in the feelings. It's the time to attack. This is attack mode. So, I'm listening to all the attack songs.
You're getting in that Mamba mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Which NFL wide receiver would you compare yourself to, and why?
I'll compare myself to Calvin Johnson. He is a guy, I look at him, especially, when I compare his college tape to mine, I just look at him and I study his game and I literally see myself. We have the same physique, basically. Him and I, the way how we move, the way how our demeanor is quite the same. So, when I study his game, I really see myself in him.
Have you ever gotten a chance to talk to Calvin yet?
No, I mean, I would love to talk to him and, have a great talk about, the game and how it was for him and how his journey was, it's just, so I'm excited for that day to come.
Right. And who's one NFL corner that you're most excited to go up against when you do get into the league?
Probably Jalen Ramsey. I want to play against the best competition. He's a trash talker. I love it all.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Pardon me?
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, I was about to ask you that, you say you're really quiet before the game, but when the game gets started and you're making big plays, do you let the opponent hear it?
Here and there. It depends. If they're talking, then I talk.
Yeah.
I don't back down. But if they quiet, I'm quiet. I don't say I'm gonna make my plays regardless if you're talking or not. You know, I'm going to make my plays regardless. So it really don't matter at the end of the day. You could talk or not. That don't change what I'm going to do.
So if Jalen's yapping at you and he's telling you, Mike, I'm holding you to this, that, and the other, and I'm about to give you the business, and you go up and you pull a Mike Strachan TD on him, go up and just grab one on him, what's the reaction going to be?
Probably run off to the sideline and celebrate with my teammates because I already proved my point. Yeah. You know, I don't have to say nothing else. He's going to feel it regardless, you know. So that's what I've been doing throughout my whole career. You know, I don't plan for that to change now. Like I say, I'm not the biggest trash talker, but I'm going to make my plays regardless.
What's your favorite part of football?
Probably the toughness. You know, you have to be tough physically and mentally, and also the level of competition. You know, so I feel like football has the most, you know, when it comes to competition and competing, you know, it's such a high level in that sense. And I feel like football, you know, there's no other sport that you have to be more tough in than football, in my eyes. You know, that's the toughness part, the toughness side of it, and just the overall competition is what I love the most about it. And being able to actually hit somebody, you know, without being, you know, charged or being arrested.
Yeah, getting rewarded.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. If I was your size, and I was, you know, signing up to hit people, I think it would be pretty fun. So now we fast forward, and hopefully you do get drafted. What would that mean to you to get drafted and be from the Bahamas? Nobody actively is from the Bahamas. You'd only be the fourth player in history to be from the Bahamas and play in the NFL. What would that mean to you?
Well, it would mean so much for me being born and raised in the Bahamas. You know, I wasn't just born and left. I was born and raised. So it would mean so much to me, my family, and the whole country of the Bahamas. You know, and the Bahamas, we a place that really rely on the USA. You know, we love the USA. You know, local Bahamians always travel here, and we just love America. So it would mean so much to the whole country of the Bahamas. And, you know, I wouldn't take no opportunity for granted at all. You know, I'm always excited about it. And like I said, it would mean the world to me.
How does it feel? Do you feel like the city is, the country is behind you and that you have the full support of the Bahamas? Does it feel like the people are behind you and they know what you're about to accomplish?
Yes. I feel everybody behind me. You know, everybody is watching, everybody's, you know, sending their prayers up, and everybody's, you know, about it for me. So it is exciting, you know, and I'm really excited to put myself, but not only myself, but my whole country on the map.
I know that it's near and dear to your heart, the Bahamas. When you are successful in the NFL, what do you plan on doing for the Bahamas to give back to them?
Well, like I say, I always wanted to bring back football in the Bahamas, American football. And I feel like that would be so cool to have American football in a different country like the Bahamas. It would just promote the game so much more. And it would just be another opportunity for guys in the Bahamas who is kind of in the same situation that I'm in to get the same opportunity that I got, you know, and it would just raise, you know, or increase the level of opportunity, you know, so that's something that I plan to do.
Is there a wave of young talent in the Bahamas that we just don't know about?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Definitely. And I feel like, you know, a lot more people could get different shots, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to talk to you about these things. And, you know, we hope that those young studs like you are able to get that exposure that they really do deserve. Mike, it's been great talking to you. We wish you the best of luck on your upcoming pro day in the NFL draft. I'm sure you're going to be, you know, hopefully you'll be on my fantasy team for years and years to come.
There you go.
And yeah, we'll be watching you play at a high level. And, you know, when I'm ready for a vacation, hopefully we can link up in the Bahamas soon.
Sounds good. I appreciate that.
Thanks for the time, Mike. Be good, brother.
All right. You have a good one.